Alrighty. Just blend it up here. Cool. There.
Okay. This is from, sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly, Gabor Rosa. Hello, Gabor. When the movie is done, how can you reach the audience? What's the marketing strategy? How do you communicate with the crowd successfully?
Ooh,
great question.
That's a great question. I have a lot to say about this. Okay. Well, I think that, okay, I don't want to get too whatever here, but okay, so I think that like my marketing strategy has basically been like I want to build up a big email list of people that I can then sell the movie directly to when we do a digital release later this year. That's been my marketing strategy. And the reason why it's like email as opposed to Facebook or Twitter and things like that is because like the reality is that like when we think of like what a platform is basically a way where you can reach the people that you need to reach in a way that usually is cost effective and just effective, like in terms of getting someone's attention and then getting them to do something, right? And the issue, at least for me with like social media and things like that, is I think sometimes people think that those are platforms, but they're really not though. And the reason why I don't think that those are platforms is because it's like very, very like for instance, like with Facebook, they're constantly tweaking their algorithm, right? And so like, we've got a few thousand followers for Then There Was Joe. We've got 12,000 followers for Then There Was Joe on Instagram, but like such a very small percentage of those people actually see anything I post. And that's because of an algorithm. An algorithm that's like, okay, well, we can't just post that and then boom, 12,000 people see it. And I think a lot of people think that's how it works, but that's not how it works. And so to me, if I have 12,000 people that have expressed interest and like, I really like that, but I can't reach them, then that's not an effective tool to get their attention and get them to do something. So for me, my strategy is to build up an email list. And because the great part about email is decentralized. Like it's not, no one owns email, It's like, email is like an older technology, but it's from a time period where like the web was more open than it is now, because, and the great part about like an email list or something, because like if Facebook ever goes under or Instagram ever goes under, which history says they probably will, it could be 20 years from now, it could be 30 years from now, but I guarantee you at some point people are going to get tired of Instagram and there's going to be a new thing and they're going to move on to that thing, right? I can't take those people with me to this new thing, right? But email you can take anywhere, and it's something that you if you build up an email list, you own that list. That's something you can take anywhere, and that's empowering. And email has the highest engagement across any sort of, on the entire internet. Email has the highest engagement, more than Facebook, more than Twitter, all these different things. And so that is my strategy, build an email list, sell it directly to those people. And I've done little small experiments, and it's like phenomenal. It's incredible, right? So like my premiere that we had in Arkansas for with the Arkansas Cinema Society with Jeff Nichols, we sold out that premiere with one email.
Oh, wow.
I literally sent one email. It's like, hey guys, just want to let you know our tickets are available. You can get them right here. Thank you so much. See you at the show. Sold out.
Wow.
Pretty incredible.
How many seats?
315 seats.
Oh, wow.
Just sold them out like that. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty cool. Like with that email, we sold almost the entire theater, and then like a day later it was sold out.
Wow.
It was pretty amazing. And like that I think is like, if I were to just update my Facebook status, that wouldn't happen. It probably wouldn't happen to that degree. You know what I mean? And also like too, it's tough like with these social media platforms, like when you post something, you don't really know who sees it. Like there's hardly a way to like, people can like it and you can see who likes it, but people seeing it, you don't really have access to that data, you know? So it's been, that's my strategy. It's very simple, but just build up an email list, sell the movie to those people. And there's tons of examples of this working like in publishing, right? So like in book publishing, that's like kind of the book publishing model. Is like a lot of these authors that already have massive email subscribers, massive email lists, those are the ones that usually get book deals. It's not the other way around, because now like a lot of these big traditional companies, they look for people who have already built audiences up, and then they go like, hey, do you want to do something together? And I think, and a lot of times we look at these things and because it used to operate another way. It used to operate like, oh, that person has talent, cool, let's do that, and we'll create a band, and then boom, they're huge, you know what I mean? But now it's kind of the other way around. It's like they look and see who's already huge, and they're like, okay, cool, we can take them and put them to the next level, you know? Yeah. And so I think that audience building, crowd building, whatever sort of building that, whatever we want to call it these days, I think like in many ways, I think it's the future in a lot of ways, like to gather your own crowd that you can talk to in a way that is cost effective and extremely effective in terms of getting someone's attention, and being able to gather all the people around you that are like-minded in the sense of like they like your work. I think that's really powerful, and I think that the world is only going to move further in that direction over time. It's going to be the people who successfully build their audiences in a way that like those people very much pay attention to them, you know. And for some people that's not email, but you know, there's some people who, you know, if you're Kevin Hart and you've got 40-something million people on Instagram or something, it's like you're gonna reach a pretty huge chunk of those people.
That's true.
Right.
When did you start building your email list, and how?
Yeah, so I started building my email list about a little over a year ago, and like I've learned it's very difficult to get people's email addresses for them to willingly give them to you, because that's the magic. Like they have to be like, yes, I opt in to this thing. And you know, it's been a really slow process, but we've gathered a decent amount considering how many people we have on like social media and stuff like that. Like we have about 1,500 people on our email list now, which is like, it's okay. You know, and
it
it's
is
just
hard to get emails. Sorry, it is. Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah, it's super tough. But like I think that there are ways that there are definitely ways to accelerate that process that I haven't explored yet, that I plan to explore over the next year or so. But so far it's been like super effective, and way more so than getting likes on Facebook or anything like that. I'm not saying that doesn't have any value, but like I have been able to actually galvanize my audience, my people, more through that channel, through email, than I have through any other channal. So.
And what email program do you use?
I use MailChimp.
Okay.
Yeah, just super simple. And like I also try to like make my emails seem like they're just written by a guy, like just a dude probably in his sweatpants, you know. Because
eating
like
Doritos,
right,
or you know,
eating
at
Doritos,
home, yeah.
and just like probably needs to reapply his deodorant, you know. Like that's how I try to talk to people, you know, because like I think when you get something that's like looks like an official newsletter, I think sometimes people can think like, oh, it's just from a thing. But like right. For me, I like when I think of like, I try to imagine it of like how would I like to be talked to if like my favorite creator was talking to me, you know? Like if, let's say like Charlie Chaplin was sending emails, like how would I want him to send an email to me? And it'd be like, I want to just be like a regular guy. Like, hey, I've made this thing and, you know, I trip over some stuff and you'll like it, you know? That's how I would want him to talk to me. So I try to that's how I try to talk to people. Just like there's a dude and he made something. Hopefully you like it.